Guten Tag and willkommen to Wolfsburg. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and this is a brand new series where we are just spending a decade, 10 seasons, rebuilding Wolfsburg. Now, in case you guys haven't seen it, I will leave a link, obviously, at the end of this video, to a video I did a little while back on some teams I picked out who are struggling in real life and I thought could actually do with a rebuild on FM24, something to like sort of keep you interested in the game, so to speak, until FM25 comes out. So I decided to take on the Wolfsburg challenge. I found it kind of interesting that Wolfsburg were a big team in the Bundesliga and fairly steady financially, not too many issues going on that side of things. But they've only ever won one Bundesliga title. They've only ever won one DFB Pokal Cup. And currently, at this time of recording, they are only 1 point above the relegation zone. As it stands, this video will be out a few weeks later, so we'll see where they stand. But at the moment, they are really struggling. And I thought, you know what, why not? Let's do a 10-year rebuild. Let's see if we could topple the big three in Germany, especially Bayern Munich, but obviously Dortmund and Leipzig are the main competitors against them as well. So I thought I'd take up the challenge and see if I can bring a couple of more titles. Namely, 3 Bundesliga titles. I want 3 Pokals as well, and 1 Champions League trophy in the 10 seasons. And that is the challenge that I've set for myself. So, without further ado, let's go and have a look at the situation. So, financially wise, not too bad. You start off with a reasonable budget, and actually at the start of the season, I haven't brought anybody in transfer-wise. Because, again, as always, this is on the Notorious Pro up-to-date database for transfers. So if we have a look at the transfer history, obviously all these players have already been brought in real life. So we've had Kevin Behrens, Joachim Mailer, Lovro Meyer, Rogerio, Niels Jacobi, and who, to be fair, actually, Niels Jacobi, I have no idea what interest they saw in him. I know he's only 16, got a lot of time to grow, but not rated on this game at all. And Thiago Thomas from Sporting Lisbon. They have sold a couple of players as well. Obviously, they lost Mickey van der Ven to Spurs and also Felix Nemetja to Borussia Dortmund. A couple of other players have gone out on loan. Bartel Franjic has gone to Shakhtar. Koza has gone to Nantes. A couple of these I did sort out myself just to get a bit more game time, especially like sort of players like Baku, Ben Stardai, Lucas Nemetja. They've all gone out loan to get more game time. So the squad that I've actually left myself with is as follows. I've got my main 2 goalkeepers. I've got 4 goalkeepers actually, I don't know why. Main goalkeeper is Kamil Grabara. He will be the mainstay for the next couple of seasons, I suspect, until I can drum up some money to get somebody better. But at the moment, he's an extremely good goalkeeper, so we'll keep him. That's absolutely fine. The big players will be Sebastian Bornau. He's our main centre-back. Very good German centre-back, as expected. Maximilian Arnold is our captain and our main ball-winning destroyer. And again, very good at what he does. And the main man, for me, this season anyway, Jonas Wind. Excuse me, speaking of which. He's the main striker, and he's still got room to grow. 24 years old. I think if we can get the best out of him, we'll have a very successful time, but it's also keeping hold of him. That's the main problem. The main issue with him, though, is injury susceptibility. So how fit can we keep him during this season? Well, to start the season off, scheduling-wise, none of the other fixtures have come out. I don't think Wolfsburg, if I can remember rightly, are in Europe this year. I can't remember off the top of my head. We started the season off okay. 1 loss and 1 win in the league, beating Freiburg on the opening day of the season, which is a pretty decent result. They're going to be the teams that are in and around us that we need to be beaten. And only a 1-0 loss at Dortmund I'll take. What was a little bit more concerning is the fact that we only won our first round game in the Pokal 1-0. Is that something to do with the tactics? I don't know. This is the tactic that I'm starting off with. It may change and evolve during the season. Because like with these 10-year rebuilds, I will stop at the Christmas time period, have a look at the transfer window in January, see if anybody comes in, and then obviously I'll update you guys once I've simulated the rest of the season. But yeah, as it stands at the moment, this is how it looks with pick without restriction best 11. This is what it's looking like. So Grabara in goal, Ziga and Bornau as centre backs, Rogerio and Myler. Sally Ozcan, who we got on loan from Borussia Dortmund, Maximilian Arnold and Svanberg, with Amora, who's another loanee, fast pacey striker, Thomas and Jonas Wind. So that's how it's looking for our team at the start of the season. Obviously only a couple of games in because the Bundesliga league starts a little bit later. Doesn't have as many fixtures or cup games as well, which is always good. So our next game is against Gladbach, which is today, but I'm going to simulate the season, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds once all that is sorted out. The story of our season is one of frustration. An early positive start with an opening day win versus Freiburg led into us losing games against Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and a 2-1 loss versus Heidenheim, and after going 1-0 up. After beating Stuttgart 1-0 in the DFB Pokal, our run was ended in the quarterfinals thanks to a 2-0 loss at Borussia Mönchengladbach, thanks to Croatian wonder kid Martin Baturina. The season then carried on pretty much in the same vein, consistency being our biggest issue, but with vital wins such as a 3-0 win versus Hoffenheim, a 4-3 win versus Stuttgart, where we were actually 4-0 up within 32 minutes. What a humdinger of a game. 4-1 win versus Frankfurt. And a glorious 3-3 draw versus Bayern Munich to top off our season and complete our objectives in qualifying for the Europa Conference League as was set out by our board. And in the end, a quite successful season. Well, as seasons go, that's not too bad. Bearing in mind the club vision at the start of the season was to qualify for the Conference League, and we did that on the final day of the season, so we ran it pretty tight to the end of the season. Looking at the graph, we didn't do too well, to be fair. Let's have a look at the league table and we'll have a look at our past positions. So we started off in 5th after the first game of the season, and we plummeted all the way down to 14th, kind of like how they did in real life, or have done in real life. But I managed to start turning things around. Got to the Christmas period, and obviously the Bundesliga has a little Christmas holiday, which I really do wish they would bring into the Premier League properly. But hey, money controls everything. And yeah, we managed to pick it up and just about get ourselves into that Conference League spot, thanks to basically our March form. Our March form winning 4-4 really helped, because after that, way too many draws and losses. In our final 7 games, we only won 2. 3 of them were draws, and 3 draws that we really shouldn't be having, so to speak. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with that as the season goes. Tactically wise, I did change it slightly. It wasn't really working with that 4-3-3, so I went for a shadow striker option instead, and I decided to train, I think, what's his name? Patrick Wimmer. Yep, I decided to train him as a shadow striker. not too bad. The only thing that lets him down really is his finishing, but he did alright for that season, where in the end, looking at the squad, goals-wise, Jonas Wind with 19, pretty decent. 10 and 13 from Lovro Meyer. Where on earth did he get played? As the DLP. Wow. Sometimes as an attacking midfielder or as a shadow striker, but the vast majority of it was him as the deep line playmaker, and he had a really good season. He's a good player. Somebody who is obviously wanted. I don't intend on letting him go unless a really, really good bid comes in. Patrick Wimmer, as I say, played him as that shadow striker. 36 games, 10 goals, 6 assists. I'm quite happy with that. In the January window, though, I did bring in another player, and I needed... in fact, actually, I'll go to the transfers here. I'll show you the transfer history. And I'll go by date. So, yeah, I brought in 2 players. I wanted another left back. I thought it was a position that we were quite weak in, so I brought in Fabinho Parisi. Quite a stalwart, reliable left back that a lot of people I know have bought and used on this game, and he is very, very good, to be fair. Very good average rating, over a 7 for half a season is really, really good. And I brought in another striker, mainly because Amora, who was on loan, I don't really rate him, but he was away for the African Nations. Thiago Thomas really wasn't doing it for me either, so I've seen this guy's name banded around a bit. I knew he could score some goals, brought him in, but he's unhappy because he can't settle in the area. But he did pick up a few goals for us, so it kind of helped. I'm hoping that next season, once he's settled a bit more, he'll get a few more goals. Rolling into next season, before I go to the other competitions and show you how we did, financially wise, 36 million. Not too bad. Going into the Conference League, bringing in a few decent players, I'm actually quite confident we can do something in that competition. Maybe even pick up an early bit of silverware. It's not on the list of the challenges, but it'd be nice. It would be nice. So yeah, 36 million to spend next season. Competitions wise, we got to the quarterfinals of the Pokal against Gladbach. I'm okay with that. So that rounds off what has happened for this season. So if you did like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. I'll be very, very happy with that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra. Or shall I say, Auf Wiedersehen.